That does not sound like a 1.4. Yes, it's another Volkswagen, but this time it's a Volkswagen Golf, and we're going to find out on this channel, yes, whether it is worth it. So I know you see all those adverts and people driving cars and what would you recommend, a Volkswagen Golf, but are they right to say so? This is a 5-door hatchback. It's a Volkswagen Golf. Yes, I know what you're thinking, it's a Golf, blah 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 blah, but people do recommend these cars a lot and it has earned a reputation. Is it worth it though? Follow me around. This is TSI BLUE-MOTION. TSI actually just stands for turbo stratified injection, which just gives you more torque at lower revs. And the BLUE-MOTION, well, hopefully just a bit more fuel efficient. This is a petrol automatic 1.4, and as you can see, Golfs are popular for a reason, and one of that is being the size of its brute. But again, what's it like to drive? I'm going to find out whether it's worth it. So inside the Volkswagen Golf, and you would be not surprised to find that German cars inside are quite bland. However, the Golf, the one up from the Polo, is actually quite premium inside. Now, if you have a look here, you've got this nice polished brushed plasticky aluminium, and it does feel quite nice. What's good about the Golf is how practical it is as well. You've got that DSG gearbox, you've even got a flappy paddle as well, and inside you've got some USB ports here, you've even got the electric handbrake, and of course you've got a handy big door bin for your McDonald's drink. And it's the same scenario in the back. So as a passenger, I mean, it's not luxurious or anything, but again, there's enough space, and there is room in the middle as well. You've got a practical ski hatch as well that folds down. So again, as mentioned, the boot space is brilliant as well for a Golf, and if you are tall, you've got these kind of arches in the Golf, which kind of makes it a lot more comfortable as well. So yeah, all in all, really good. The good thing is about a Golf is because of the hatchback boot space, you actually get more than what you expect in terms of practicality. So what's the Volkswagen Golf like to drive? And first impressions are really good actually. I mean, you are never going to be disappointed about how a Volkswagen Golf drives. I mean, that's part of the love affair, isn't it, with Volkswagens in general, but the Golf just gives you that nice tidy hatchback feel, and you know what you're going to get is exactly what you pay for. And if you're after reliability and value, and again that Volkswagen badge, it's perfect. So driving though, the steering is really nice and light and agile. The suspension's good as well. What's quite surprising is, even though this is only a 1.4, the Petrol with its flappy paddy gearbox is actually really responsive, and the kickdown's really impressive as well. For example, if I show you now, whack into obviously Tiptronic gearbox, it's in third now, whack it down to second, and it goes pretty fast around some corners, and you can have a bit more fun with it. But if you just whack it back into that normal automatic mode on the DSG gearbox, it just smooths into like this kind of standard mode, which to be honest is quite desirable at sometimes, but again it can get a bit monotonous and boring. But all in all, the Volkswagen Golf, like I said, I don't think you're ever going to be disappointed by one. So it's time to weigh up the Volkswagen Golf on that scale of worth, but let's just talk about the Golf. I mean, it's got so much history, it's got so much heritage, it's definitely got to count for something, but I mean, it's just not that exciting to drive. But does that make up for it? We'll find out on that scale of worth. So it's time to weigh the Volkswagen Golf on the scale of worth. And again, this is how we differ ourselves to any other review channel out there. And of course, we give a visual representation where we weigh the cost against the features, practicality, performance, fun factor and appeal, and also the reliability of the Volkswagen Golf. So this comes in a cost of £13,450. So let's weigh it on that scale, release the coins and find out what the outcome is. And as you can see, the Volkswagen badge comfortably weighs down that scale, which means we can give it the full "is it worth it" seal of approval. So let's talk about practicality. So there's great space in the boot and even more space when the seats are folded down, and decent amount for passengers. However, maybe a little cramped for the person in the middle. Performance, that 1.4 turbocharged petrol engine does a great job being as pokey as it is. However, it can be quite loud and over revvy at lower RPMs. Fun factor, it's not the most fun to drive and can be quite boring at times. I would personally opt for a bigger engine or an R Edition, and this should make driving a lot more enjoyable, although it's not a bad ride at all. Reliability, apart from the 2015 emissions scandal, which again was mainly for diesels, this on the other hand is a petrol. Volkswagen's reliability is rarely thrown into question, with 11 million vehicles sold in 2019. And to be honest, because it's such a quite common car, average cost repairs are a mere £382. Appeal, the Golf has a road presence to a degree, where it's almost a badge of honour that deserves respect for its heritage and contribution to the hatchback sector with its popular drive and looks. So about features, nothing to write home about. It's running Volkswagen's own infotainment system, which on its own is usable with Bluetooth, but no Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. Sat-nav is dealt with a key code from the dealership, and dual aircon and multiple trim choices still make the Golf a good choice, even though adding extras still makes the interior kind of bland. Again, just a big shout out to Cams of London for letting us review this Volkswagen Golf. Please stay tuned for the next video. Please like and subscribe. We hope to see you on the next video on Is It Worth It?